Alright, so in this video, I'm going to discuss an emergency permanent residency in 24 hours. You can get this. Most people watching this channel right now qualify for this permanent residency. So when shit hits the fan, you want to look for three things in any country. It has to be safe, it has to be beautiful, it should have access to the beach, and it should be one of the happiest countries for a good life. And most people watching my channel, watching this channel, want to have a good life. They want to search for countries that are actually useful, gives them least amount of stress, because when you're successful, you're fully engaged in what you're doing in your home country. You want to have a classy paper residency in place. And in 24 hours, and I'm talking business hours, you can obtain this. And we have an entire team that is established in this country. So from end to end, start to finish, you and your family is going to be covered, well taken care of. Whether you speak Spanish, you don't speak Spanish, you are fine. A lot of people in this country speak good English. But before I venture into this direct permanent residency option, which also has one of the strongest passports in the world that you can acquire in as early as 3 years. If you have a family, if you don't have a family, then we are talking 5 years. But this is a paper residency. So if you just want to keep this permanent residency in your portfolio, it's the lowest hanging fruit with the maximum benefit. So please do me a favor. It does not cost you anything. It really helps this channel grow, and it helps me get you any breaking news on time. So go ahead and turn on that subscription. Now let's discuss this option in a lot of detail. Now the country that I'm talking about is Uruguay. It's the happiest country in the world and one of the safest countries, not just in Latin America, but also in the world. So where a lot of people have overhyped Europe, they want an EU citizenship, they want an EU access. Uruguay really offers you that European architecture, that European life, but with a lot more ease, with a lot less burden, and with a much better quality of life and more happier people. So when you and your family are in Uruguay, you're getting the good life. Europe these days is inflamed. It has a lot of migrants from outside, and I think the fabric of Europe is becoming toxic, like a lot of Western countries which are fed up of outsiders. Uruguay is a melting pot. It has a lot of diversification. People aren't racist at all, and people are very welcoming, very friendly, and it's one of the most beautiful countries with access to great beaches. One of the biggest differences between Argentina and Uruguay is that Argentina is a lot more polluted. Argentina has a lot more people. There's political drama in Argentina, which not a lot of people like. And the inflation is crazy in Argentina. Uruguay, on the other hand, is complete opposite, in my opinion, including the safety aspect. So I think all in all, overall, if you compare a country like Argentina with Uruguay, I would give 10 out of 10 to Uruguay and maybe 5 or 4 out of 10 to Argentina. Now, what is the closest second best? It's not Paraguay. You cannot compare the two at all. Paraguay is a poor man's back pocket residency, in my opinion. And Uruguay, a lot of high net worth individuals would love to have access to Uruguay, would love to have their plan B property in Uruguay. The Uruguayan passport is at a different level. So I would not compare Paraguay with Uruguay at all. So if Uruguay, as I said, is 10 on 10, then Paraguay is 2 on 10 or 3 on 10. And if you're curious why I give Paraguay so less, there's a very important reason why I'm giving Paraguay such less points. And if you're interested in learning more, you can watch this video. I've covered this one reason extensively. But let's get back to Uruguay and how do you qualify. Most people watching, 99% of the people watching my channel right now, qualify for this one. The qualifying criteria is $1,200. Now, a lot of Latin countries have this kind of criteria, but it is passive. Yeah, the exciting news, it's not just passive. Even if you have a job based, a salary based income of $1,200, you can still qualify and get this permanent
Require you
residency. And as I
Uruguay from
said,
scratch is permanent residency. We apply for permanent residency. There is no a minimum time to be in Uruguay. Yes, once you have the residency, come once every 3 years
permanent
at
residency.
least.
And as I said, our team specializes in this conversion. Not a lot of people know how to do this correctly, legally, and properly with immigration. So at any point in time, right, you want to get started with this option, you always click the link, book a call. We can have a quick chat, explain the process, and then immediately schedule you for your emergency permanent residency option where you pick up the benefit and leave because you have other things going on in the background. Before you obviously come to Uruguay, we check your documentation and make sure everything is in order and you're going to fly successfully, including your appointment at immigration office. We do the same thing with Mexico. We do the same thing with most countries where we have your appointment secured even before you arrive. Now, once you have your proof of income, the $1,200 a month, right? Could be any form of income. You could be a business person, you could be a salaried employee, you could be a retired person getting some passive income, does not matter. So you know with high degree of certainty that you're going to get this, right? And the track record has been a staggering 100% with our team. The other documentation that you're preparing is your birth certificate, your police certificate, and that's it. Maybe a couple of other documents, and then you're all set. Now, you and your family has to physically visit Uruguay, right, for the 24 business hours where we get your biometrics done at the immigration and a couple of other formalities. Our team works with you at the immigration to get that sorted. Now, this one requires that one visit to Uruguay to collect your benefit. It's a paper residency, so you don't physically have to live in the country to maintain this permanent residency. You do have to enter once every 3 years, which is not an issue for most people. Now, there'll be 1% of you guys watching who would not want to travel anywhere, who would want to have a permanent residency sitting at home, and they would only travel if shit hits the fan, only at the time of emergency, and you just want to have a safe and a true permanent residence in your back pocket, and you exercise this only when it's required, then there's a remote, 100% remote permanent residency that can be acquired in 5 days to 10 days. Most of you guys can obtain this in 5 days to 10 days without moving, as in without providing biometrics, without ever visiting the country, without even landing in the country. And this is 100% remote permanent residency. If you've missed my video on this all important option, catch you in this one.